time is it?
All right, we're live. Where we're going
guys.
online. Starting up.
Do you have a camera there?
Yes,
Oh.
it's starting up right now.
Oh, okay. Move that out of the way then.
Right now you have to log in on YouTube and listen in to make sure the audio is.
Okay, move that out of the way then. Okay.
You can log in on your pink ride. Just go to that stream and make sure the volume's on, because I can't test for it now, because that was usually my testing
Oh,
computer.
okay.
Testing 1, 2. All right, audio input. Stream health is in red because.
Can I give you my phone? What did I just do with my phone? What did I just do with my phone?
Not live yet.
Chase is working on it.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I see you, Chase.
Is it on? Can you hear anything? You can hear?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right, Dad, you're on.
Hi guys, Mr. John here.
Yes.
If you don't have a children's account, if you have an adult account, can you please go on chat and let me know you're online?
Three watching. As of right now.
Yes.
So
Hello.
Depending on if they're kids or not, depends on if they can chat or not. If they're on a kids chat, then
Yeah.
you probably
If you're on a kid's account, chat will be disabled. So if we can get everybody on an adult account, that would be great.
or just text in your suggestions.
All right. I'm also going to open this on Zoom, and I'll give everybody the code now to jump on the Zoom. Okay, meeting ID. Everybody ready?
Batmall says the stream is at 12:30 is for beginner and intermediate.
Yes. 11:30 is for brown and black belt advanced, and then 12:30 is beginner intermediate. But Nick, if you want to watch both, go ahead. I'm fine with it. Okay. Meeting ID 739-947-4936. That's 739
Hold on, wait. 7,
3
3,
9
9.
947-4936.
Is the Zoom code? What is that referred to? The code?
Pass.
Hello?
Password.
Is the Zoom password?
Yeah.
That is the meeting ID.
Thank you.
Hi, Josh. Hi, Bella.
We got 5 watching.
All right.
Mom, the volume is still good. What? It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm going to give my phone to Miss Liz while Mr. Chase gets into his uniform. All right. More stance. Warrior scholar. Attention and bow. Everybody down in your horse stance. Push those hips forward. Let's get warmed up. Punches to the corners. Dropping from your forward bow. Squeeze your neutral and we'll forward bow on the other side. Pivot and punch. 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 Keep going. Pivot and punch. Pivot and punch. Pivot and punch. Pivot and punch. Do about 10 more. and punch, and punch. Turn those hips, drive those punches out. Pivot and punch, pivot and punch, pivot and punch, pivot and punch. All right, next, that's hands up in defensive position, and just bring our knees up, nice and high, cocking into front kick position, warming up. And let's switch and do the other side. All right. Let's start out with footwork. All right, right side back, forward bow, pivot to a neutral bow, reverse bow. Keep your attention at 12 o'clock, keep your defense at 12 o'clock. Neutral bow, forward bow, close kneeling stance, forward bow, neutral bow. Wide kneeling stance, neutral bow, reverse bow. Close kneeling stance, reverse bow, neutral bow. Side horse, back to neutral. Side horse, back to neutral. Cat stance, crane stance, cat stance, neutral bow, twist stance, neutral bow, jump switch, forward bow, close kneel, forward bow, neutral bow, wide kneel, neutral bow, reverse bow, close kneel, reverse bow, neutral bow, side horse, back to neutral, cat stance, crane stance, cat stance, neutral bow, twist stance, neutral bow, jump switch. Right. Let's do our shuffles. Step, drag, shuffle. Forward, back, left, and right. Shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. I'm going to turn sideways. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Forward, back, left, right. Let's add our probe, sit, and slips. Probe, sit, slip left, slip right, arc off. Probe, sit, slip left, slip right, arc off. All right, from this angle, probe and return, sit and return, slip left, slip right, and arc. Let's put it all together. Shuffle forward, shuffle back, shuffle left, shuffle right. Probe forward, sit back, slip left, slip right, arc off. And one more time. Forward, back, shuffle left, shuffle right, probe and return, sit and return, slip left and return, slip right and return, arc off. All right. Everybody warmed up? Great. Let's do our
Get closer. You can step all the way up here.
Thank you.
Don't have to do that far.
All right. Now, let's work our drag step shuffles. Drag step. Slide your back foot up to your front foot, and then take a step, going back. Drag step, going forward. Drag step, going back. Drag step, drag step. All right. So those are the first two types of shuffles: step, drag, and drag step. Now we're going to do a push drag. Pick that front foot up, launch yourself forward off the ball of the back foot, push drag, going back. Pick that back foot up, launch yourself forward off the back foot, push drag, going forward, push drag, going back, push drag. And let's advance with a pull drag, and retreat with a pull drag. Advance with a pull drag, retreat with a pull drag, advance with a pull drag, retreat with a pull drag, advance with a pull drag, retreat with a pull drag. Okay, good work. So those are our four kinds of shuffles: step, drag step, push drag, and pull drag. Now, let's work on our crossovers. So, four kinds of crossovers: two going forward, two retreating. So, advancing with a front crossover. 1, 2. Advancing with a rear crossover. 1, 2. Retreating with a front crossover. 1, 2. Retreating with a rear crossover. 1, 2. Advancing with a front crossover. 1, 2. Advancing with a rear crossover. 1, 2. Retreating with a front crossover. 1, 2. Retreating with a rear crossover. 1, 2. All right, let's do our twist throughs. Linear motion first. Linear motion, axis rotation, linear motion, axis rotation, retreating. Linear motion, axis rotation, linear motion, axis rotation. Let's do axis rotation first now. Axis rotation, linear motion, axis rotation, linear motion, retreating back. Axis rotation, linear motion, axis rotation, linear motion. All right, so we did our 4 kinds of shuffles, we did our 4 kinds of crossovers, we did our 4 kinds of twist throughs. Let's do our 3 kinds of switches. So from your neutral bow, jump switch, jump switch, jump switch, jump switch. Back to front switch. Slide up your back foot, slide your front foot back. Back foot up, front foot back, back foot up, front foot back, back foot up, front foot back. And let's do our back to front switch. Slide your front foot back, slide your back foot up. Slide your front foot back, slide your back foot up. Front foot back foot up, front to back switch. 1, 2, front to back switch. 1, 2, front to back switch. 1, 2. Okay. Any questions on your footwork or your stances? All right, make sure you practice those for your test. Next, let's work on a front kick, roundhouse kick, spinning rear kick combination in place. So, you guys at home may not have the space that we usually have. So, this is what I want you to do. You're going to do your front kick. Put your foot right next to your other one. Now you're going to do your roundhouse kick and turn and put your foot right next to your other one. And now you're going to do your rear kick and then return right back to where you started. Okay, so knees bent. You can start in a neutral bow or start feet together for right now. It's fine. All right, so we do our front kick, and since we don't want to advance, instead of planning forward and gauging our distance, I want you to put it right next to your other one. Now this is going to spin in place as you roundhouse kick, and then as you're bringing your leg back from the roundhouse kick, boom, just put it right down in position facing to 6 o'clock. Now your back's to the bad guy, and that third kick is all ready to come up and out. And then you can rotate, use your knee, pull yourself back in, rotate yourself back to your neutral bow, or come back to feet together position. So front kick, feet together, roundhouse kick, feet together, rear kick, and back. Again, front kick, feet together, roundhouse kick, feet together, rear kick. Okay, all right. Practice that a couple of times. Does anyone have any questions yet? Let's go to Zoom.
It keeps reverberating what you're already saying, and no matter how many times I try to mute it, it doesn't do anything.
So,
And I don't even know how to work it anyway.
Okay.
okay, I guess that's not going to work. We're getting reverb. And, all right, so you can turn it on for a split second, or put earbuds in for mommy or Dash, and then they can relay any questions anybody has to me. All right. Now, let's do a shuffle side thrust kick, spinning rear kick combination. So, from our side horse stance, we're going to shuffle up, do a side thrust kick, and as we plant back, we're already turned and in position and ready to fire the rear kick as soon as this foot touches the ground. And rear. Boom. All right, so now make sure that on your side thrust kick, you're driving the knee. Okay, this is not a snap kick. All right, it's a thrust kick. So it's your leg's version of a straight punch, which means your elbow has to be behind your wrist, right? So your knee has to be behind your ankle. If you're like this when you kick, you're all out of alignment and you're not getting 100% of your backup mass into the strike. You want to drive that knee, and the knee has to cover distance. If your knee moves this much, it's not going to be a really powerful kick. If your knee moves this much, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck. So we slide that in, fire that out, and as we return, as this touches the ground, we're already in our rear kick position to fire that rear kick on the next moment. So, shuffle side thrust, and rear, and then set. All right? Shuffle, side, and rear. Shuffle, side, and rear. All right, try that a couple of times on both sides. And let me grab a quick drink of water. All right, any questions? Okay, so now from our horse stance, I want everyone to chain with their hand. I want an inward block with your right, an outward block with your left, an upward block with your right, and a downward with your left. In, out, up, down, in, out, up, down. Now, we're practicing double factor blocking on our outward block, upward block, and downward block. So our inward block is what we call a single factor block because only one hand moves. But on our outward, upward, and downward, we're going to set both hands into motion. So our outward block is actually an inward-outward combination. So in, out, come across to your center line, protect your face, up. Now, this is going to swing around and do a palm out block low. As this touches your shoulder, this can also be a palm in block as well, and downward. So in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down, in, out, up, down. Let's do the other side. Ready? Inward block with your left, outward block with your right, upward block with your left, downward block with your right. In, out, up, down, 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 in, out, up, down. All right, so practice that on both sides. Now, advanced students, I want you to put that together by adding a punch in the middle. So you're going to go in, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down, punch. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Okay? So you're alternating sides. The punch will bring it to the other side. I think my counts were a little off there, but everybody saw what I did. In, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down, punch, in, out, up, down. Okay, so alternate that and then add them together into one continuous set. These are called flow drills or coordination sets. And by doing them, you'll really clear out those neural pathways, you'll get that muscle memory working, and get your body really doing what you want it to do. All right. Let's pick up now with our back fist counter, jab, sit, advancing, counter, jab, retreating, counter, jab, moving left. So, coming from behind me, back fist, counter, jab, sit, retreating back, counter, jab, going left, counter, jab. So, back fist as your front foot steps, counter punch as your back foot steps, jab as your front foot steps, sit as your back foot steps. Now we're going backwards, so it's reversed. Step back with your right, turn and punch, step back with your left, throw your jab. Now, as we step off with the left, we throw the right. As we step off with the right, we throw the left. All right, so we do that this way. Front hand, front foot, back hand, back foot, front hand, front foot, sit. Back hand, back foot, front hand, front foot, back hand, back foot, front hand. So see how it switches when you go side to side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Mirror image. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, practice that a couple times. We can check the phones. Zoom questions. Do we know who's in attendance?
No.
Trey is trying to get on.
Okay.
Do you see people on your phone? On your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I see Josh. I see Natalie and Josh. I see Bella. Where's Bella? Hey, Bella, where are you? My mute's off, right? All right. Mr. Chase, come on out. All right, let's go through Josh's technique list. And Bella's technique list. All right. Let's start off with clutching feathers. So, where's your bell?
On the chair.
What are you gonna do? All right, so clutching feathers is a hair grab. So, grabbing a person's hair and beard is thousands of years old method of controlling a person, all right, with your leveraging arm. All right, so as he grabs my hair, I need to strip back just like in low kimono, and I need him off balance. And then I'm going to take my dragon fist and drive that up and into the nerve. Then I'm going to outward block as I palm to the face. I'm going to hammer through and then to the body, and I'm going to finish him off with a rear kick. Okay, so some of you are seeing that those last two moves for the first time. So let me. All right, I'm used to being way back there for the other videos. Okay, so from the grab, we're gonna pin, step back, stretch him off balance, and drive that up. So we're in a neutral bow. Now, this is gonna check here for a split second in case he was gonna try a roundhouse kick off that back leg, right? And I'm gonna drive that out. Now this does not come back behind you. It goes forward to the front 45. So when you block this off, it's going forward to the front 45, or if he's at 12 o'clock, that's going to 130. And I'm going to palm strike to the face. Then, as I pivot, I'm going to check that hand and come through. Now I'm in a neutral bow at that point, and then I'm going to pivot to a reverse bow as I do a little S bend here and hammer to the body, and then just fire a rear kick into the target. So, slow motion, pull him off balance, dragon fist, palm strike, hammer, and kick. All right, and one more time, nice and slow. Ready? We're migrating.
Well, I'm just looking at this.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you happen to end up between his legs, you can hook kick up this way as well. All right? So it just ends up, it's just going to matter when you pull him off balance where his foot steps. If you're inside, you can rear kick or hook kick. If you're outside, probably go with the rear kick. All right. Let's see. Bella's next technique is cross of destruction. So, from here, two-hand choke. That's not a choke, that's a massage. That's a choke. Okay, so make sure when you practice it that your partner's not just grabbing your shoulders. Make sure he has his fingers up front. Now, you don't actually have to squeeze, but I do want you to put your fingers in front. So, because if you always practice it where the guy grabs you like he's giving you a shoulder massage, and then suddenly a real bad guy comes up and starts throttling you, you might go into panic mode. We do not want to get into panic mode. We want to handle the situation, but we don't want to panic. And so we need to practice as realistically as possible. If our practice is like light and easy, and then all of a sudden a bad guy comes on and it's 10 times more intense, yeah, that's a recipe for a freak out and a panic, right? So we don't want to do that. So as he grabs me, I'm going to grab his hands, I'm going to drop. I want him off balance right away. Now, I don't know if you can see this, so I'm going to get sideways so you can. But you'll see Chase right now is off balance. His shoulders are in front of his hips, which is going to reduce his strength significantly, right? If I go like this and I leave him standing straight up, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble, all right, because he can just pull me back, all right, and he can still control me. The whole point of this first move is to get low, to get balanced, and to take away his balance. So as he grabs, I drop, and then I come back and I drop again. Now see how I pulled him with me? See how I'm upright? I'm not bent over. My arms are not extended. I'm the one who's up straight, and he's the one all bent over. And that's how this should be at this point. Then I'm gonna front kick that knee, and then I'm gonna push and pull to break his own arm with his own other arm. All right, so from here comes the grab him, get him off balance, take him down, make sure his shoulders are in front of his hips and he's falling over. At this point, I have checked his height, width, and depth. He cannot kick me, punch me, right? And I'm gonna kick that leg, drive him back, and then push and pull to break his arm with his own other arm. All right, practice that a couple of times, cross the destruction. Any questions?
All right, they're practicing.
Okay, 5 swords. So, 5 swords is a roundhouse right punch to the head. So, as I step in, I'm going to block at or below the elbow. If you block the bicep here, this can come whipping across and hit you anyway. So, when we're on the inside, we block at or below the elbow. And I don't want this to be way over here. I want to catch it. Let's see if you can see. Let's do this angle. I want to catch it when it's out side my width zone. Now, from here, I'm on the inside. So that puts me in danger of getting hit with his left. So I'm going to hit on what we call the half count. So if he comes in and throws a 1-2, it's 1, 2. All right, now you can block a 1-2 with one hand. 1, 2, because it's a 1-2. Now, to prevent him from throwing 2, all right, we're going to have to hit on the half count, which means the chop hits on 1.5, not on 2. The palm hits on 2, but block, chop, palm, the chop hits on 1.5. All right, so as this comes in, it's boom, boom, boom. Let's turn this way. Boom, boom. All right. So those both hit on one beat. This hits on the first half of the beat, boom, and this hits on the second half of the beat. Now from there, you'll notice I'm in a forward bow stance because I want to drive that palm strike and get his head back to open up his abdomen for the next strike. Now we're going to do a punch here. Technically, it's a spear hand strike, but unless you've been practicing, you know, with red palm sand, and hitting a wakamari board, you don't want to hit and break your fingers. So we're going to make that a punch to the solar plexus. Let's knock all the wind out of that guy. All right. So let's do it from this angle. All right. So, bop, 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 bop. Everybody watch my pivots. Neutral bow, forward bow, back to the neutral. Now, the next move is the hardest move, and I've seen this done at least like 10 different ways. The way I like to do it, I learned from Joe Palazzo, and so that's the way I do it because I like it the best. If you like a different version better, then do it that way. As long as you can explain why it doesn't violate any underlying Kempo rules and principles, then you're fine. Now, we have to do an arc with this back foot, but as we arc, we need to pivot to a forward bow. So our foot is going counterclockwise, all right, or anti-clockwise for those of you in the UK. And we're going to pivot clockwise with our upper body. So our lower body is going counterclockwise while our upper body and hips are turning clockwise. All right, so that's what I think is the hardest move in the whole set. So that's why when you're a beginner, I teach you 1, 2, 3, 4. you get really, really good at that, then we'll add 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we do our block, pump, chop, pump, punch. Now as we arc and pivot, we're going to do a thrusting knife hand to the throat. And this is creating a bracing angle so that I hit him very strong, right in the windpipe to straighten him up. See, when I hit here, his head probably came forward, and now I'm going to drive it back. All right, now my next move, as I come through a neutral bow, is a chop to the side of the neck. That will end me in a neutral, and then I'm going to use counter rotation for that last strike. All right, so from here I'm in a neutral, reverse, neutral, reverse, neutral. So you can see my body is rotating in the opposite direction from the chop. And then I'll finish off with my rear kick. All right, so like I said, I've seen this done at least 10 ways. And the way I do it now is not the way I learned it in 1986. So, all right, so let's do it this way. And pop, pop, pop. Pop, thrust, chop, reverse, and kick. Let's do it from this angle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Okay, 5 swords. Any questions?
You don't have to be so quiet.
Okay.
Aislinn is now on. And
Hello,
Shre-
Aislinn.
And Shreya.
Hi, Shreya.
Aislinn says, hey.
Hi.
And she says, keep calm and, well,
Keep calm and
no. Shreya says, keep calm and sparkle on.
sparkle on. All right.
Okay.
I'm sparkly. All right. So let's look at Thundering Hammers. That's the next one on Josh and Bella's list. So again, I usually just teach this at the beginning, block, inverted back fist, hammer, hammer, and I stop there for beginners. Because again, this next move is really hard, and I don't want people, I would rather have people be amazing at going pop, 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 than struggling trying to get the last 3 moves in, which are just follow them. Remember, the first 3 moves are martial, and the rest is art. Okay, so let's do that from this angle so you can see my movement. Now, as Chase comes in with a straight punch, I'm gonna take that off angle as I step to 1030. So this foot and my head are going to 1030. So as he punches to 12, I'm not there anymore. So here's 12 o'clock, I do not want to be there. So as that comes down, I'm gonna change my height, width, and depth. All right, now, as I step off, I'm gonna step to the ball of my foot and then rotate and drop into the heel for power. So I'm gonna separate power principles slightly here. So 1, and I wanna take him off to the 45. I'm not gonna give him the center line. Sometimes we give him the center line. Dance of Death, we give him the center line and we go off to the side so his groin's open for the ridge hand. Here, I'm gonna turn him, all right, so that he can't bring that left punch to bear. Now from here, this is the move a lot of people have trouble with. I see a lot of people, I used to be one of them way back in the day. So Frank Trejo taught me the error of my ways. Most of you have heard that story in class. So you do this, and you just stand back here and you reach for that back fist. But that's not what I want. What you're going to do on the first one is 1 and 2 is a shuffle. So 1, 2. Now, some people say, why isn't he checking with his left hand? If you do the footwork properly, you should be even or past him. When this hits, you're actually behind him. So 1, 2. See, I don't need to check because he can't bring that hand to bear in that split second. I am, however, checking his leg. Now, from here, this is going to roll around and check him. See? Now keep that pressure on. I see a lot of people, they kind of just slide along the body, but stand up straight and fast. See the problem there? All right, so I need to keep the pressure on him so he can't flip it and put the pressure on me. So 1, 2, all right? Keep the pressure on so he's off balance. And then drop, and I'm gonna catch the far kidney and kneel down on the back of that. What?
This is a nerve there.
Oh, I happen to be hitting Chase's nerve over and over again. Oops. All right, and then I'm gonna switch my feet again and maintain that check on his leg. All right, as I hit the mastoid. So it's far kidney as I check with my left, mastoid as I check with my right. Now, if you haven't seen this before, all right, you're just bumped up to advanced class, we're going to arc off. So our left foot is going to go over here and we're going to retrieve our hand. So this is going to come up, so if he tries to stand up, I have him checked here, and I'm going to whip a back fist into his temple. And there's video of Mr. Parker and Mr. Trejo in Chile, where Mr. Trejo says, when Mr. Parker hit me with that back fist, he knocked me out. And then he clawed and he held me there until I woke up. This is probably out for like 8 seconds. And Mr. Parker was talking, they were on a TV show. He knocked Frank out on TV and then held him there until he woke up. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now from here, everybody loves this move, but it's just a timing move. We're going to do a step drag shuffle. So you're going to tap your own thigh as your front foot steps, and as it plants, and you come up with your back foot, you're going to bounce off your thigh and come up in the other direction. Pop, 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 pop. Okay?
We're probably going to have to flip around.
All right, so let's do that from the other side.
And I got a little bit of a thing.
Okay.
Right?
So let's try from a diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? All right. Now, most of you advanced students have already seen this before. My preferred ending to this. Now remember, there are a lot of extensions in Kempo. Each technique can have an extension put on the end. But each extension is not the extension. It's an extension. Extensions can be mixed and matched and put on the back of different techniques. Okay? So it's not like, you have to do this extension with this base technique. No, they're mix and match. All right? So don't get dogmatic about it. So, first shot comes in. Oh, let's get back on the diagonal. And first shot comes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now from here, I have a handful of his face. I'm going to pull his face, push his face straight up to the ceiling. And I'm going to push this shoulder straight down as I C-step back. And I'm going to put him right down on the ground on my knee. Okay? Now, let's scoot back. You weren't expecting that.
I've never seen that.
He's never seen it. He needs to come to class more often. Oh, I gotta fix my hair. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push, pull, flip. Take him down, and then you can just crush his face or throat with your shin. If you want to hop off and stop kick from there, you certainly can do that. All right. Any question on thundering hammers? All right. We have a question.
Yes. Aislinn would like bending the limb.
Bending the limb?
Old name for?
I don't know. What's it the old name for?
No, what's the Parker name?
What technique are you talking about?
Bending the limb.
I don't remember.
Oh,
I learned it
capture.
in the 80s and 90s. We've
Long
been
break,
doing-
capture, wrist, same side wrist grab.
Glancing spear?
Yes,
Okay. Bending the limb.
glancing spear.
This is apparently the old name that I've long forgotten. You know, I've forgotten more karate than most people will ever know. Okay, so from this grab, the same side, all right, I am going to step back and check him by pulling this arm down and across. Now, if he grabs me with this hand, that's his leveraging arm, right? So he can hold me there while he punches me, or grabs my throat, or kicks me or knees me, right? He's keeping me from leaving. He's holding on to me and he's controlling me. So I need to flip that. So I'm going to drop back and I'm going to control him. All right, now again, if my elbow is extended from my arm, don't let me move. See the problem? When I step back, I have to keep my elbow in tight. If I let my arm go out and I try to pull, whoever's stronger is going to probably win. If I'm stronger than him, maybe I pull him off balance. If he's stronger than me, probably I don't. So we don't want to leave it up to who has the most muscles. What I want to do here is use physics and use leverage. So I'm going to pull my elbow in, and as I step back, I'm going to pull him off balance. Because when my elbow's in tight to my body, I'm going to have more force. And I'm dropping down off my height. Boom. Now this is going to come up, and I'm going to put him in a finger lock. Yeah, we good? Okay, so you can see how I have the back of my hand on the back of his wrist, and that's pushing up and back. I'm taking the wrist of my other hand and I'm rolling his fingers forward. Then I grab, straighten, and break his elbow, and then shuffle in. Hey, no stepping on people's feet. That's my secret weapon, so don't you do it. All right, just kidding, you can steal it. All right, so drop back, take him off balance, grab and pull him in, break his arm. Then shuffle in. Now, when you shuffle in, don't just hold this relaxed. Move this around. Or just shoot an elbow at my face. Okay? Too dangerous. After I do the elbow break, it may not be broken. It may just be hyperextended, or maybe he's really strong and I went like that and it hurt a little bit, but not enough. So I need to, as I shuffle in, I'm going to use shearing force and pull him forward with my left as I drive my right into him. Now, you'll notice my right knee is behind his left knee checking. All right? Now from there, right now, I'm controlling him with my left. I'm going to take my right hand and switch control. Now let's turn this way. You'll notice I'm not just holding it like this. Move your arm around. See, I don't have control of that. I'm taking my forearm and elbow. See, now move it. See, and I'm anchoring to his body with my entire forearm. He can't spin to hit me with like a spin elbow, okay? And I'm controlling him because I'm making contact from his elbow all the way up his arm to his shoulder, not just grabbing his arm and leaving space, okay? So I did the elbow, I switched control, and now there's a little thing here where we chop the radial nerve, and to me that's a fairly unimportant part of this technique, you know, and kind of smacks of George Dillman a little bit, and okay, Tweet, and okay, so I don't do that. Once I have him controlled, I just shoot my fingers into his eyes. Now what you need to do is get his head on top of his right foot so you can sweep the left one, all right? If his weight's all on his left foot, man, it's gonna be hard to sweep that thing. And I don't want to get into a fight of who's strongest. I want to use technique to constantly put him off balance. I always want to be in the correct position while he is always in the wrong position. So, as I'm checking his leg, checking his arm, poke the eye, sweep the leg, then at this point I can let go. Because as I turn, I'm going to back fist through the body, and then I'm going to sweep through the leg and bring this back the other way. So slowing that down a little bit. 1, 2, control, spear, sweep, so you're into a twist stance, boom, spin back fist, and now, this is in front of him, this is behind him, drive your foot back to a forward bow stance, take your palm strike the other way, okay?
Do you want to show that finger lock up close?
Sure.
And then the sleeve grab.
Okay, so from here, as I step back, I'm going to come under, and there's the finger lock. All right, so I'm going to come up here right on the wrist, and this hand is going to go up and back, and I'm not going to fight his arm. I'm going to bend. My idea is to bend right on the wrist, and then as I unroll this, I'm going to push his fingers in the other direction. Sorry. All right, and then I roll right up into the grab. So this hand is cutting right on the wrist and then right into the grab. And then when his arm is completely straight, that's when I can break it.
You can back up a little
All
bit
right,
for that.
now for the next one, before I do that, I'm here, right? So my fist is right below his
You can take a
elbow.
little step back.
So my hand is right below his elbow. I'm going to come up and grab and control it. Now don't just do that. Put pressure on that and keep him off balance the whole time. All right? This is contact manipulation, right? We're not dancing around him, just touching him. We're putting him where we want him to be. So we're controlling him. All right? So fight back against this. See, I'm going to have a leverage position. Now again, we're not staying. He'll eventually get out of it. He'll eventually power out of it. But we're not going to give him time. While he's busy doing that, we're driving that up and into his eyes and getting his weight back on his other foot. Okay? So there's your control. Grab and use your entire arm from your hand all the way to your elbow to control him. All right. Work on that. Next technique. Who has a thought? Anyone? Yes.
Shreya wants to know, they're looking at their list, and of course all the cool names come out they want to see. So they'd like to see Clawing Panther.
All right. Clawing Panther.
And also, could you give a shout out?
Didn't we do that last week?
Rachel is joining us, and
Hi,
Lily.
Rachel. Hi, Lily.
Yes, we did, but they didn't see it.
All right. Okay. So, all right. So let's go back to Josh and Bella and do checking the storm real quick before we jump off and do Clawing Panther for Aislinn and Shreya. All right. So, checking the storm is the first club technique we learn. So, as this club is coming in at my head, all right, I cannot be here. Now, I teach this to kids to get them moving before learning how to block and things. And this is what happens. When I first do it, they all duck. And everybody can see that's completely ineffective because the attack is coming down and all I've done is delay the inevitable by dropping down. So, what's our general Kempo principle? When the attack is linear, we move circular. When the attack is circular, we move linear. So, when that comes in, I'm going to go off to the side. All right, now, we can go off either way. Right? If we go off that way, it's evading the storm. Right? And then, of course, we can go diagonally in, do capturing the storm, anything like that. So from here, we're going to get off the line. Now, everybody watch my footwork here. When you jump, you don't go up and down. You slide across. And you're doing a push, drag, shuffle. So you're pushing off your left foot and you're landing on your right foot. And your left foot's going to come right behind it. So the next problem I see is, why don't you get up here so you guys can see people go and they get hit on the ankle because they moved everything except their foot off the plane of attack. So that's a problem. When we get offline, whoa, we've got to bring that with us. So it's a push, drag, shuffle into a cat stance. So super slow motion, pop, pop. So this goes bump. It's not bump, bump. It's bump. Now the next thing I see people do wrong is they don't work up the arc. They go straight across. So they go like this, and then they do their front kick, and it's short. If I don't hit him with this front kick, what's going to happen? He's going to hit me with his second swing, right? So if I go like this, boom, I'm getting clobbered with the second swing. All right. So you have to work up the arc. So if everybody sees me, if I'm on my clock, let's say I'm standing on the 6, I jump to the 4. See? I didn't jump off the clock face. So when I jump, I'm going diagonally. I'm actually maintaining my range, or maybe even getting a little closer to him if you're a kid and you need to be able to do something. Now again, the one time in 1,000 will an adult attempt to attack a kid with a weapon. All right, so this is probably a situation where a bully picks up a stick and tries to whack you on the head with it, okay, more or less. All right, and if you can't run away, then you don't want to get hit with the stick, so you need to do something, right? So, boom. Now, since we landed on our right foot and our left foot is catted, we're gonna just fire that front kick. So that front kick comes out fast. It's bop, bop. The moment it touches, we're doing what we call a bounce step. Bump, bump. So it's not. Question? Okay, so we do our bounce step, bump, bump. Then we're gonna turn, fire in a side thrust kick, and then with a right back fist to the head. All right, so Chase will help me out here. Let's do that from this angle. All right, so now I haven't added the hands in yet, so those will be next. We're just doing the feet first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now let's add the hands in. So this is where you're going to be. Okay. So as you jump off, this hand is in upward block position, and this hand is protecting your center line. They can be closed. I would prefer if this one was closed at any rate. This one can be open. All right. So from behind, 1. That way, if I don't get out of time, out of distance, and make him miss me in time, at least I've protected my head with my arm. We don't want to get hit at all, but I'd rather it hit my arm than my face. All right, so get out of range. This is protecting my front because this is not his only weapon. He has this, and this, and this, and okay, so a lot of bad guys, happily, do get caught up thinking their weapon is the totality of their offense. Thank goodness. But it's really not. It's almost better for you guys if you had a weapon to fake with the weapon, get his attention with the weapon, then hit him with a natural weapon like a punch or kick, right? So if he goes here, then he comes in with a left punch or a left kick, right? You can really fake people out that way. All right, so I digress. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this has to stay up to protect that center line all the time. Okay? All right, checking the storm. Any questions? All right, clawing panther. All right, an oldie but a goodie. So this is going back to our Tracy roots way back in the day, 30 some years ago. Okay, so this is basically an Aikido style move. Your hands are going to move in matching circles. All right? All right, so as I step, I'm going to do it mirror image. So as I step, my hands, now don't go in really big circles. Make them a flat and arc. We're going to get there a lot faster. All right? Now, from here, you're probably going to catch his attempted punch grab, his right whatever, okay, on the outside of your arm. So let me get, follow behind me, all right? So I'm going this way. 1, 1, 1. So here comes the right punch, pop. So these are both going to come up, protect my face, and he's going to end up on the outside of that. So I continue my circle. Now once this gets to here, this turns into a check. And then I'm going to do a ridge hand forearm strike to the face or the throat. All right? So as Chase comes in with this straight punch, I'm going to step off to the side, 1, and check this down and into him. All right? So this comes up, this comes over, this goes down, and then I'm going to take that across him. All right? So if you really don't want to hurt the guy, but you want to knock him down, shuffle in hard, take it across his chest if you're bigger and stronger. So 1. Now from here, this hand initiated the block. This hand then picks it up and checks it. Then I'm gonna come shuffle in with a bridge hand strike. All right, so let's get sideways. 1, 2. All right, now from there, I'm going to step around and buckle his leg. This hand is gonna slide up and over his shoulder and anchor his head back, just like grip of death. All right, so I go 1, 2. All right, now from there, as I step around, this slides up and checks. This is gonna drop an elbow into his sternum and then claws head down. And we're supposed to bang his head off the floor. You wanna be careful with that because concussions and dead bodies and charges and things. So once he's on the ground, you know, boom, get out of there. All right, so let's do it from this end. God bless you. Chase is a great dummy. All right, bless you. Fake sneeze. All right, so here it comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, slow motion. Pick it up there, take it over there, check that into his body, shuffle in, maintain the check. This is like raining claw,
Spear.
Brain knife technique, raining
Spear.
lance. And I step behind, and see how I still have him checked, that arm checked, and I have his leg checked. I have him all bent back, and then drop as I go from a forward bow to a neutral bow for this first elbow. Boom, and then to a forward bow on the other side as I claw the floor. All right. Have fun.
What's the difference between raining lance and raining spear? Do you remember?
Raining spear.
Yeah.
I don't remember. No.
Or I'm making that up.
I think you're making that
I'm
up.
probably making it up. Just like I do on my technique.
420 techniques. How am I supposed to remember all the names?
You got
I have the hard enough time remembering the names of the 150 we do now. I can do them. I just don't remember what they're called half the time.
Aislinn says, bless you.
Dang. You got 4 more minutes in this class, and then it's supposed to be beginner, but if nobody in the beginner or intermediate class shows up and makes it known that they're here,
Right.
what do we do?
We'll see. All right. So, Josh's list. Hey, Josh and Natalie, you guys have any requests? All right, let's do alternating maces for Josh H. So, alternating maces, the person comes in and he's trying to grab you or maybe push you. So, the first thing we're going to do is get down in our stance and make ourselves hard to move. So, we drop and we inward block, because this is a fully committed attack coming forward at us. Then we're going to turn and deliver a punch to the body. And as we do, this is going to go to our shoulder. Then we're going to reverse back into a back fist to the head. So all we're basically doing here is I'll be mirror image. Neutral bow, forward bow, neutral bow. Neutral bow, forward bow, neutral bow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when Chase comes in and attempts to grab a hold of me, all right, so the first thing I'm going to do is he comes charging in, 2-hand grab the lapel. I'm going to block both of his hands off angle. Then I'm going to punch to the body. I'm going to shuffle if I need to. This is going to stay here. It's not going to go over here because, see, if that's not there, he can hit me even accidentally as I hit him. Whoa, his hands go out. He smacks me in the face or catches me in the eye. So this has to do a positioning check and be there. Okay. Now from there, as we rotate back, we can do a back fist, end it however we like. All right. So first you drop back, get low, take both of his arms off to the side, keep that up there as a check as you punch the solar plexus, and then back fist to the head. So we step back to a neutral bow, pivot to a forward bow, back to our neutral bow, and then get out of dodge. All right. Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right, guys. That wraps up advanced class. Good work. Keep practicing. If you've got downtime, once your schoolwork's done, you can maybe pick up a little bit of extra training time now that you don't have any of your other activities to go to. That would be wonderful. All right, join and subscribe if you like. If you are not on a kids membership at YouTube, you can leave any questions or comments for me for the next class, anything you want to see. I'll be happy to go over whatever material you guys need for your test. So, attention stance, horse stance, warrior scholar, attention, and bow. Have a great weekend.
Alright, so either they're gonna. Also, now would be a good time for you to check Zoom and see if you can turn off your mic because it's reverbing twice. And I don't know how to work Zoom, so during this like 1 or 2 minute break, go on there, you can unplug the headphones and see what I'm talking about. I can't turn off the stream. I can go like this,
Okay.
but they can still
Hi,
hear me.
Nat.
They can still hear me.
Okay.
It's not a big deal.
All right.
We're just waiting to see if anybody from the 12:30 class is going to come.
All right.
Did
All right.
you didn't unplug the headphones to see what I was talking about. You gotta
All
fix the
right.
audio.
I gotta fix the audio.
No, just because whenever I was trying to listen, it would pick up your voice.
Can you
twice.
guys hear me? Hi, Natalie.
Hello?
Hi, Josh. In call volume up. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Hello? Hello? Hi. How you guys doing?
How you guys doing?
You got a treadmill at home?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, you've been practicing every day? You've been doing your road work? Oh, come on, Nat! Oh, you gotta be working on that. Where's your dad?
You went outside. I don't know where he went.
Well, tell him he missed class.
He didn't. Watching most of the time.
Oh, was he? Okay. All right. So you guys hanging on for the next class too, or you guys leaving? Do not feel obliged to have.
Now is a good time to ask them what they want filmed for this upcoming week.
Okay. So Natalie and Josh, what do you guys want to see for the upcoming week when I film videos during the week?
There's nothing I can do about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you online and hopefully in person once all this blows over. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Can you type in the chat if anybody from the beginner or intermediate class has joined in yet?
Is that still on?
Yeah, half
Yeah,
of it.
can you flip it up?
Yeah, I can put it on.
Are there new people?
We don't know.
Well, I should have maybe Tommy and
9 watching.
okay, great. All right, guys. My phone is at 10%, so it's dead. So I can't Zoom this class.
Brady Thomas is here.
Hi, Brady. How are you? All right. Please go down into the comments or chat and let me know that you're here. And I'll make sure I focus on what you guys need for your next test.
Can you scroll just for a second? I just need to make sure that the angle's good. Thank you.
All right, ready? Attention stance, horse stance, warrior scholar, attention and bow. All right, I want everybody down in your best horse stance ever. And punches, I want you to do 100 punches to warm up. Now, keep your back up straight. Make sure you're chambering your hands all the way. Practice your full line of travel on your strikes. And hips forward, knees bent. And really work that horse stance. Punch, 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 punch. Remember, Every time you punch forward, you're practicing an elbow to a bad guy behind you. Punch an elbow, punch an elbow, punch an elbow, punch an elbow. Okay? Keep on punching until you get to 100. All right. Anybody, who else besides Brady's here? All right, all done that. Let's do our inward blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, do 10 more of those. Make sure your elbow's coming all the way across to your opposite shoulder. All right. Now, outward blocks. Come across your belt and out. 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 Outward block. 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 10 more. Outward. 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 Outward, 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 outward. Good. Upward blocks. Now make sure you come into your center line and punch straight up towards the sky and then flip it over. Make sure your palm's facing out like you're saying, see you later. Okay, good. You don't want your hand down or up. Make sure you don't have your wrist bent. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now remember, your block is above your head, but it's also in front of your face. So make sure it's not back here and it's not down here. Make sure it's on a 45-degree angle from your eyes to the ceiling. All right? Elbow in, upward block, 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 elbow in, upward block. Do 10 more. All right.
Elena is here.
Hello, Elena. All right. Downward blocks. So, touch your shoulder and block. 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 Now, advanced, intermediate students, I want you double factoring this block. So, palm in block, touch your shoulder, downward block. 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 Palm in and down, palm in and down. As this comes across, this touches your shoulder and downward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, do 10 more of those. All right, let's put those all together. So, right side, inward block, outward block, upward block, downward block. So inward block with your right hand, outward block with your left hand, upward block with your right hand, downward block with your left hand. In, remember your outward block always comes up on the outside, outward. Your upward block comes up on the outside, and downward, and your downward block comes up on the outside. So from the side, it's inward, your outward block comes up on the outside. So this is the inside, we don't want to come up in here. That's the outside, we want to come up out there. Outward, upward, see, this is on the outside, downward. In, out, up, down, in, out, up, down. In, out, up, down, in, out, up, down. All right. Any questions on blocks or blocking set? Yes.
Nikki and Tommy are on.
All right, Nikki and Tommy, way to go. So, questions? All right, so I'll get your technique lists out so we can go over them. Are Emma and Will on?
If they are, they haven't left a comment yet.
Okay, so I'll get theirs too. The dad said, yes.
I have a request
A request, okay.
for myself.
Uh-oh. Miss Liz has a question.
Yes. I think you should demonstrate the technique defending circles for more elbow practice for
Okay,
beginners.
all right, well, let's start off with
Since
that.
a lot of people have trouble with elbows going up and doing that.
Okay, so let's do that. All right, so defending circle. In fact, let's do the whole elbow set. Okay, so I'm gonna get sideways. Now, I want you to step back with your right foot, pivot, and do an elbow to a bad guy behind you. So, step back and elbow, return. Step back and elbow, return. Now when you step back to the ball of your foot, you're in a forward position, and then as you drop your heel, okay, pivot to a neutral bow, maybe even a little farther, almost all the way to your reverse bow. Pop, pop. Now, when you do your elbow, make sure your arm is nice and straight. Don't have it out like this. Don't have it up like this. Don't have it down like that. You want your wrist and your elbow on the same plane. They want the same height off the floor. Okay? So, step back, pivot, and elbow, return. Step back, pivot, and elbow, return. Step, pivot, and elbow. Step, pivot, and elbow. Step, pivot, and elbow. Step, pivot, and elbow. Okay? So those are the first two moves. So, follow me. 1, 2, let's do it again. 1, 2, okay? Practice those. 1 and 2 a couple of times. Question, Miss Liz? I heard a buzz.
Brady just had a suggestion for can we do front kick, roundhouse kick, and rear kicks?
Yes. So put that on the list.
Yep.
We will do that. So if you guys have suggestions, things you need to see for your test, just put them on the comments and or on the chat, and Mr. Chase will write it down,
Front, round,
and we'll make sure we hit that. Okay, so let's do the next two moves. So the next two moves going forward, all right, we're going to step in and do a parallel elbow to the front.
Combination.
Not necessarily.
So this is an inward elbow. Inward, inward. Step to the ball of your foot, drop that into your heel. Step to the ball of your foot, drop that into your heel. Step and turn, step and turn. This is called a sandwiching elbow. All right? When we elbow up the arc, boom, we don't sandwich. When we elbow down the arc, you can grab that guy's head with the other hand, crunch, and that's called an elbow sandwich. So that's sandwiching. So step, turn, elbow. See how this is touching my chest? See how this is making a nice straight line? It's not up or down. Step and elbow. 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 All right, so let's put those together. Ready? 1, step back at elbow. Return. 2, step back at elbow. Return. 3, step forward and elbow. 4, step forward and elbow. All right, again. Step back and elbow 1. Step back and elbow 2. Step forward and elbow 1. Step forward and elbow 2. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right, practice that a few times. 1, step back and elbow. 2, other foot, step back and elbow. 3, step forward and elbow. 4, step forward and elbow. And you'll notice you bring your feet back to natural position each time. Step back and elbow, back to normal. Step back and elbow, back to normal. Step forward and elbow, back to normal. Step forward and elbow, back to feet together. All right? Practice that a couple more times, and we're going to add the next 2 elbows. All right. Now, next we're gonna do upward elbows to the front. When we do an upward elbow, we always, did I mention always? Put your hand next to your ear like you're answering the phone. Hello? Never come across your face. If sometimes you do this and sometimes you do that, sooner or later you're gonna do this, and then we're all gonna point and laugh. Okay? So don't do that. All right, so stepping in, upward elbow, and again, your fist goes right next to your ear. This is catching him up underneath his chin. Step, upward elbow. 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 Okay? From the side, it looks like this. All right? Okay, so let's add those. Step back and elbow 1. Step back and elbow 2. Step forward and elbow 3. Step forward and elbow 4. Step forward and elbow 5. Step forward and elbow 6. Step back and elbow 1. Step back and elbow 2. Step forward and elbow 3. Step forward and elbow 4. Step forward and elbow 5. Step forward and elbow 6. All right, let's do that from this angle. Ready? 1. Return 2. Return 3. Return 4. Return 5. Return 6. Return. All right, one more time. 1. Return 2. Return 3. Return 4. Return 5. Return 6. Return. Okay. Run through that a couple times, and then we'll add the next 2.
You can get a drink.
I think I will. It is dry in here, which is funny because it's raining outside.
It's pouring. It is a raining and a pouring.
Okay. Everybody got that much down? Let's add the next 2. Now the next 2 are going to be side elbows. So we're going to step out, elbow to the side, 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 step out, and elbow, step out, and elbow, step out, and elbow. So step, elbow, step, elbow, step, elbow, step, elbow. You can practice them head high or body high. I just did all 4 there. Okay? All right. Let's put it all together. Step back and elbow 1. Step back and elbow 2. Step forward and elbow 3. Step forward and elbow 4. Step forward and elbow 5. Step forward and elbow 6. Step forward and elbow 7. Step forward and elbow 8. Or sorry, I said forward. I meant side. Sorry about that. So let's do it from this angle. Stepping back, 1. Return, stepping back 2. Return, stepping forward 3. Return, stepping forward 4. Return, stepping forward 5. Return, stepping forward 6. Return, stepping forward 7. Stepping aside 7. Stepping aside 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So practice that a lot. Get really good at it. Do that a couple times right now. Go ahead.
Brady would like to see the front round rear kicks in combination.
Yes, I understand. I got it.
And yeah, we just said it. I
Let's
was
do
asking
it.
whether
We'll do it.
one's single or combination. He said combination.
You got it, Brady. Okay. So, front kick, roundhouse kick, spinning rear kick. So, let's do it from the side first. Now, hands are up. We're in a neutral bow. We're going to pivot through a transitional forward bow, fire our front kick, bring it back to chambered, and plant in a forward bow stance. Now from there, this foot's going to turn 90 degrees. We're going to pick up a roundhouse kick, fire that, and now we're going to plant 1 foot step off so that we have a straight line to the target with our rear kick. All right, then we're gonna turn, put all of our weight on our left foot, our plant foot. All right, so now this is in a cat stance. Turn our head, because the first thing that turns on a spin move is your head. Look over your shoulder and fire your kick. Okay, so follow along behind me. Front kick, forward bow, roundhouse kick, plant off 1 step, turn, shift your weight, defense is up, your head's looking over your shoulder, rear kick, and we turn. Let's do it again. Front kick, plant, roundhouse kick, plant, rear kick, and we turn. Okay? All right. So I'll do it this way. Front kick, plant a forward bow, roundhouse kick, plant 1 step off. Then, as you shift your weight and rotate that foot so your heel's point, your heel is like your gun sight on a rear kick. You point your heel right at the target. So wherever this heel's pointing, that's where the kick's gonna go. Turn your head, fire your kick, and reset. Okay, so practice that a couple of times on both sides. Front kick, roundhouse kick. So, hands are up, front kick, plant in a forward bow, roundhouse kick, plant off 1 step. So that looks like this. Front and round, boom. So instead of planting in a neutral or a side horse, plant 1 step off so that when you turn, now this foot has a straight line to the target. Okay? So, I'll do it this way. Ready? Front kick, you're in a forward, roundhouse kick, plant 1 step off. Okay? So then when you turn, this has a straight line to the target and your front leg's not in your back leg's way. Okay? Questions?
This is from me.
Okay.
Could you also demonstrate how if they're doing it on the bag, that if the target isn't moving backwards, that they plant next to the other foot?
Okay,
Like
so
we
you want to
used
do it in
that.
plane. All right,
We used to
so
do that drill front, you know,
okay, so we just did it in the advanced class, but okay.
for the beginners to see.
All
Because
right.
if they plant
so,
back, they're going to be too far away.
All right, so when you're defending yourself against someone who's moving, whether you're sparring or whether it's a street situation, all right, you always have to gauge the distance between you and your opponent so you make sure you are the correct distance away. So sometimes you might do a kick and have to take a big step. Sometimes you may have to kick and take a normal size step. But sometimes you may not want to go forward at all between kicks. So from here it'd be front kick and you plant right next to your other foot. So now when you turn, see, you're not going forward at all. So you can do your front kick, roundhouse kick, spin rear kick combination, advancing a lot, advancing a little, or staying right where you are. So front kick, feet together, roundhouse kick, feet together, rear kick, okay? All right, so front kick, feet together, roundhouse kick, feet together, rear kick. So you see that I'm putting myself in position for the next kick at the end of the previous kick. So, pop, now I'm ready for my roundhouse. Now watch, I do my roundhouse, boom, and then by the time this touches the ground, I'm already in position looking over my shoulder. Okay? So don't plant and then try to get in position. So, boom, you're in position, boom, you're in position, boom. Okay? So, front kick, roundhouse, spin rear kick combination, advancing, and in place. Questions?
Making timing.
All right. Now, let's do our back fist counter punch combination. So, when you do your back fist, you take a little step with your front foot. When you do your counter punch, you take a little step with your back foot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and shuffle back. Front hand, front foot, back hand, back foot. Reset. 1, 2, 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 reset. All right? Now, advanced students, I want you to bring those hands back to defensive position. So, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, with your hands up. All right, blue and green belts, let's add the jab and the sit. So, 1, 2, 3, sit. 1, 2, 3, sit. Front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. Now, remember when we did our front kick, roundhouse kick, spinning rear kick a second ago? And sometimes we did it going forward, but sometimes we stayed in place. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do the same thing here. Step, 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 step. And just stay in place. It's like being in the marching band. You start marching in place, and then you start moving forward, right? So you can do the same thing in karate. You can pick your foot up and put it back down in the exact same space. So if you don't have a lot of room to move, you can still practice 1, 2, 3, set. 1, 2, 3, set. 1, 2, 3, set. 1, 2, 3, set. Now, timing-wise, as your foot touches the ground, your strike hits the bad guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right, back fist counter, jab, sit. In place and advancing. What do we have next? I might need you to get your uniform back on, Mr. Chase, so we can do some techniques. Any questions, Miss Liz?
What contrast then?
Okay, look.
I was going to suggest maybe talking about that front round spin rear is a drill that students could practice with the march in between. When you were talking about marching parade, it's just doing front kick, march, march, like we do on the bags with the roundhouse kick.
Just alternating sides?
Yeah, but with the timing of.
Okay. Who do I have online? That may be a little advanced for some of these guys.
Or just the roundhouse kick trying to march to the other side.
Okay. So while Chase is getting ready, let me show you guys one way to do practice your roundhouse kicks in place, alternating sides, right? So you're marching 1, 2, 3, 4. So kick, 2, 3, 4, kick, 2, 3. Roundhouse kick, step, step, step. Roundhouse kick, step, step, step. Now see, as I'm stepping, I'm turning into position. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, my foot's in position. 2, I do the kick. 3, I plant back down. 4, I get back into position on the other side. 1, 2, 3, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So let's continue with our roundhouses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're back in your defensive stance and you're ready to go on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're in your defensive stance, you're ready to get back on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? All right. If at any point you have any questions or anything else you want to go over, just shoot them in the chat. All right, Mr. Chase, let's do lone kimono on Nick and Tom's list. So, first thing we want to do is protect ourselves from that other hand. So when he grabs, I don't want to get hit with that. So we need to check his height, width, and depth. So we want to now the problem with just trying to fight him back is that he has control of us here and he's hitting us too. So he's got control of me, he's pulling me off balance, he's moving me around. And if he's stronger than I am and he has better balance, I'm going to be in trouble. So first thing we're going to do is take away his balance. All right? Then we're going to break his arm. All right, now, pin, step back. Now, step back to your forward, and then do that little, see how I'm pulling him off balance? Ideally, we get his back foot off the ground. If we can get his back foot off the ground, we're in good shape. Okay? And then this is an upward block, so remove your arm for a second. All right, so we're going to pull and drive that up and keep on driving it until he cries out in pain and then drive it a little bit more. All right, now from there, we know this is a beginner technique. How do we know this is a beginner technique? Because we're doing one-handed kempo, right? Our left hand pins and our right hand does all the work. How else? Oh, because we're passing targets without hitting them. Yeah, if it was an advanced technique, we'd be hitting that on the way by, wouldn't we? So upward, inward, and chop. So you see how I'm set, I'm nice and low, and I'm balanced, and he is constantly off balance. So I step back, I break the arm, the inward block goes diagonally to pull his head forward, and then I reverse the chop into the throat. If he lets go of me, great. If he doesn't let go of me, that's fine too, as long as I'm maintaining my balanced position and I have him where he can't hit us. All right, we can always work on getting hitting him more until he lets go, or getting rid of that hand with a wrist lock or something. Right, once we hit him a couple of times, break, clear, chop, right? That'll become a lot easier to control him at that point, because he's going to be dealing with the pain of getting the strikes. Okay, next technique. Let's do crashing wings. Well, Chase is cleaning the camera. Okay.
Just a little blur at the top.
All right. So, crashing wings, super slow motion, Chase. Come up behind me. All right. As the person grabs, right, we're going to pin. Now, we want to have control of his arms. So, see how I can move him around? I see a lot of people, they go like this, but they don't pin, and the person can just slip their arms right out. All right? So, we don't have control of them. The next thing I see, right, people go like this and they step out, but he's still completely balanced. The whole point of the pin and the step is to make us be really balanced and take away all of his balance. So from here, all right, boom. I want him off balance. All right, now I have him controlled. I'm nice and low. I'm going to get behind. Now, this is the next thing that people don't really stress. You have to buckle that knee. The battle is going to be won right here at this position. That's going to be the battle winning right there. All right. If you leave air, he can sweep your leg. If you leave air, he can resist getting taken down. But if you do that, see, he's already off balance and he's already falling. All right. Wham! And then I can jam that up and into the chin and hammer to the groin or the body, and down he goes. Okay? All right, so he comes up and grabs.
Just move up a little.
I need new shoes. That's like the third time I fell off the side of this shoe. I guess it's getting old. 1, 2. Now, see how with that buckle, he's already let go of me with one hand. He's already fallen back. Bam! Then I got that elbow, right? And then drop. Now, a lot of our techniques require hammer to the groin. Personally, I take this hammer to the body to knock all the wind out of him. I think that's a better application of that hammer, is to take it to the torso, because he's all stretched out. He's all, and I've never seen a guy continue a fight with all the wind knocked out of him yet, or chase me when I ran away, okay? If he can't breathe, he can't fight, and he can't chase you. So instead of the hammer to the groin, you know, take it to the body, go for the knocking the wind out of him. Now, having said that, when you practice it, you can practice all the time, just going at different targets. Groin, all right? Body. Drop it on the heart, palm the heart. You know, take it to the throat, take it to the chin, all right? Pop, 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 see? And you can practice all your different hand positions all the way up the body, all right? Good. All right. Now let's do spiraling twig. So spiraling twig is a what if off of crashing wings. So he grabs me this time, he gets his arms locked around me. Oh, so this is a problem. So I pin, but when I pin, I don't split his arms apart. So now the problem is, if I try to go around him here, all right, since he's holding me forward, I can't get my torso off to the side as easily, okay? Now, can I still get my torso off to the side? Sure, I can. But if you haven't had as many, 35 years of training, then you may not be as good at locking that in and getting that torso off. So what happens is, you go 1, and then your legs go around, but your body doesn't, and then he can just dump you right on your face, and now you're face down, and he's hitting you. That's a bad place to be. Okay, face down on the ground, not good. All right, so as he grabs, we're going to step out, and now I still have that lock on his arms. I'm going to bang on the back of his hands till he lets go. Now I still have it locked as I grab his wrist. Your fingers are going to be down here, okay, right at his wrist. And your thumbs are going to be up here, right on his knuckles, right? So once I bang him and get him off, I'm still pinning him, I grab. Now, as I step with my left foot to start to roll out, see how I keep the pressure on his elbow? So right now I have him in an elbow lock, and then as I turn, I transfer it to the wrist lock. Then I can kick him in the face and break his wrist.
You want to show that wrist lock really up close?
Yeah. All right. So from the pin, bang, bang, bang. All right, I'm gonna, my fingers go down here, my thumbs go up there. Fingers low, thumbs high. Now, see how I still have his elbow?
Well, they can't see you now.
They
No,
can't?
so now you back up. Then take a step back.
All right, you can see.
Ah!
Sorry about that. Can you see how I have his elbow checked as I start to spin? And then I take the pressure from his elbow, never release it, and just slide up his arm to the wrist. All right? So you don't let go of him and then try to put him in a wrist lock, because if he's, still aware, and all you've done to him at this point is make the back of his hand hurt, so he's still in the fight. All right? So you need to maintain that pressure. Do not give him an opportunity to pull out, all right, because you forgot to keep the pressure on his elbow. All right, so crashing wings and spiraling twig. Any questions? Okay, let's do sword and hammer. So sword and hammer is the first technique we learn off an obscure shoulder grab. So somebody grabs you from the side, okay, and they're holding on to you. Now basically, they can do one of 3 things. They can push you forward, they can pull you back, or they can hold you in place, all right? Now, when they grab you, they can either be close in with their elbow down, pop, 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 obscure wing, or they can have their arm straight. Sword and hammer. Okay, so let's do that mirror image. So grab this
Take
side.
a little step up.
Bump, bump. Okay, so from here, you'll see that Chase is a little bit behind me, so he's at an obscure angle. All right, now I'm gonna step in, and as I step in, I'm gonna drop, but I'm gonna turn, and this is gonna come up and chop to the throat. Now, I'm in a forward bow at that point in time. Now I'm gonna drop down to a close kneeling stance, hammer to the groin, and now I've set my line to get the heck out of there. Okay, so from here, he grabs, I see he's not a friend. All right, I'm gonna chop the throat, hammer the groin, and cover out. Now, I see this a lot. 1, 2, what's the problem with that? What didn't I do? I didn't change the height of my head, right? We already talked about how if you leave your head in the same space for multiple beats, then he has a target lock on it, and he can hit it without even seeing it, right? I already showed you this with Chase. I'm looking at Chase, he's not moving, and I'm gonna hit him every single time because I know exactly where his head is every single shot. Okay? I don't have to see him. I know where it is and he hasn't moved. We do not want to be there. We're not going to be that guy who walks our face right into the bad guy. So we're going to change the height of our head. So 1, from here, I'm going to move my head to here. So if he was trying to turn and punch me, ready, turn and punch, I'm not there anymore. I'm over here now. So now, let's say he did punch. Oh no, he blocked my chop. I was chopped. Oh, wait a minute. I blocked his punch. Hey, my chop went from an offense to a defense. Check that out. Bam, and then I can just continue the pattern. Isn't Kempo neat? All right, so 1, 2, and see how my head position changed. I also used axis rotation, in this case counter rotation, because my body is spinning clockwise, but my strike is going counterclockwise. And I'm also using marriage of gravity, dropping my body, boom, for power. So, linear motion, axis rotation, and gravitational marriage, and again. Now, there's 2 close kneeling stances you can drop into here, and it just depends on whether or not you want to hit this guy more. So, 1, 2, if I want to hit him more, I'm going to turn in, right? And do whatever from there. All right, but if I want to leave, I'm going to turn out. Pop, pop. So now my line is set to leave. So when you do the second strike, you can turn into it and use rotational force, or you can turn away from it and use counter rotational force. And then you're ready to go out. And in this case, you're ready to hit him more. I wouldn't recommend doing this and then deciding to leave, because you're pointed in the wrong direction. So have an idea of whether or not you're going to hit him more. And if you turn in, hit him more. Then you can leave. All right. Sword and hammer. Any questions? All right. Grip of death. Grip of death is a side headlock. All right. So why is this called grip of death and not grip of noogies? All right. So Mr. Chase grabs me. Okay, now, from here, you know, luckily, when the bullies used to do this, excuse me, but you can see how Mr. Chase is pressing his forearm against my windpipe to cut off my breathing. He's also constricting this side of my carotid artery, so the blood flow to my brain is less. Okay, so from here, he could just give me noogies on the head, but that's not what's happening. What's happening, he's grabbing and he's squeezing and he's trying to render me unconscious. Now, again, people allay this first move. I don't know why, but get him off balance, people. Use your wheels. If he's here, wham, drive that. See what happened to his arms? Man, take him off balance. Ruthless aggression. All right, so as he grabs, I'm going to go forward, take him off balance, then I'm going to hammer. Did you hear that? Now, slide up the back, anchor his head back using leveraging force, All right, fulcruming, and then turn, palm, and hit him in the chin. Now, if his head is already bent back as far as it can possibly go, and I turn and I hit his chin as hard as I possibly can, it's not going to be good for his neck, right? All right, so let's do it this way. So he has me here. All right, shuffle, buckle, hammer front and back. Now, when you hammer, palms are up, and you're trying to connect your hands right through the body. Hit them front and back and drive through it and try to touch your hands together. Then slide up the back, over the shoulder, and get under his chin. Now, when I first learned this, we practiced it fulcruming underneath the nose. I don't do that anymore because that's really close to his mouth. And human mouths are really dirty and have lots of bacteria in them. And if he bites you, you can get lots of bad infections. We do not want that. So instead, I go under the chin and fulcrum that head back, which gives me, I feel, much better control. Now, if you can't get your hand under the chin, you can always grab the hair and anchor it back. Or my, second favorite, take your fingers and get underneath the skull, the holes in your skull where your eyes are, and then leverage his head back using his eye holes in the skull, right? All right, so get up, get under, anchor, pivot and palm. Now, next thing I see is people palm, but they don't pivot on the palm. So once he's here, you're in a neutral bow, turn those hips. Even though you're not hitting them hard, practice turning your hips into the strike. Even if you're not hitting them hard, practice turning those hips. Because how you practice is how you'll perform. And if you always practice and forget to pivot, then if you do it for real, you'll forget to pivot. So that's what under stress, your body will take the path of least resistance. So however you practice is how you're going to perform. So do it right every time. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Perfect practice makes perfect. So doing it absolutely correctly 300 times is better than doing it incorrectly 3,000 times. Whatever you practice is what you will do. All right. Do we have any questions, Miss Liz?
No.
We got 15 minutes.
All right. So let's go over front kick, side thrust kick combination. Now, purple belt material. Your front kick, side thrust kick is 2 kicks with the same foot, and you don't put it down in the middle. So you're going to double up on the kick. So from your forward bow, I'll do this side. We're mirror image. You do your front kick and bring it back to your knee. Now, I see this a lot. 1, 2, and people start to turn into the roundhouse kick too soon. You don't turn for the roundhouse kick until the roundhouse kick is on its way out. So, if you were going to do a front kick and I just lined you up, I didn't say anything, I'm saying right side back for front kicks, ready? 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. This foot wouldn't pivot, it would just stay straight because everybody knows that foot should be pointed at the target on your front kick. But all of a sudden, when I make it a front kick, roundhouse kick, people start turning that foot way early. They either turn it on 1 or they turn it on 2. All right, you don't turn your front foot on a front kick. You don't turn your front foot when you bring your kick back and chamber it. So it comes up, it goes out, it comes back, and then you rotate into the side kick. So up, out, back, rotate. Up, out, back, rotate. Up, out, back, rotate. Okay? All right. So front kick, side thrust kick. Up, out, back, rotate. Now, can I borrow you for a moment, Chase? When you have a partner, work on changing the heights of the kicks. So go body and knee, maybe, right? Or groin and solar plexus. Ooh, caught you, huh? What can I say? Okay, so knee up, kick out, bring it back, rotate, bring it back, plant down. All right, so make sure you retrieve your weapon. When you extend your weapon, that's only half the kick. Getting it back safely is the other half. All right, so let's work on our C-step block and punch sets. All right, so coming forward. In fact, you come forward, I'll go back. Ready? Step and block, pivot and punch, step and block, pivot and punch, step and block, pivot and punch, step and block, pivot and punch. Now I'll come forward and you go back. Step and inward, pivot and punch, cat, step and inward, pivot and punch, cat, step and inward, pivot and punch, cat, step and inward, pivot and punch. Good. Let's go back with an outward block. Step back and outward, make sure you're in a neutral, pivot and punch, pivot to your forward. Okay? C, step back and outward, pivot and punch. C, step back and outward, pivot and punch. C, step back and outward, pivot and punch. Coming forward. Now I'm coming forward, you guys are backing up. Cat, neutral bow, forward bow. 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 Now you guys come forward with an upward block. Cat, neutral bow, forward bow. Cat, neutral bow, forward bow. Cat, neutral bow, forward bow. Cat, neutral bow. Oops, my fault. Forward bow. Coming forward. I'm coming forward, you're going back. Cat and inward block, step and upward block, pivot and punch. Cat and inward block, step and upward block, pivot and punch. Cat and inward block, step and upward block, pivot and punch. Cat and inward block, step and upward block, pivot and punch. Okay, downward blocks. I'm going back, you're going forward. Cat, neutral bow, forward bow. Cat stance, neutral bow, forward bow. All right? Okay, now, Brady, you haven't learned double factoring yet, so when you're doing it, it's outward punch, upward punch, downward punch, downward punch. So don't freak out if you're going, whoa, what's this extra step he's throwing in here? You haven't learned that yet. So you don't have to worry about the cat and minor move inward, okay? So you're fine just going neutral bow, forward bow, neutral bow, forward bow, neutral bow, forward bow, neutral bow, forward bow. Okay? All right. Do we have any questions on the board? What time we have?
It is 1:22.
Okay. So let's see. What shall we do for the last 5 minutes?
How about any tricking? Go through some of the movie kicks just so they know what they are? The outside crescent kick. Kick.
Miss Liz wants me to do movie kicks without stretching out first.
No, just to.
I'm probably warmed up. All right, Mr. Chase, I need your help. So she wants me to show off a little. All right. So, Mr. Chase, if you can hold this pad out, so just take your hand through there and hold it like that. All right. This first one is called a spinning crescent kick. All right. So, a spinning crescent kick hits with the outside of your foot. So this is a crescent kick. Outward, like this. So you pick your knee up, close your hips, and then your knee leads your foot. So you see as it comes around, my knee is in front of my foot. Okay, so I close my hips and I open them up. So when I do it in place, it looks like that.
Can I see it again?
So, close your hips, open it up. Close your hips, open it up. Close your hips, open it up. They like this kind of kick in the movies because movies are two-dimensional. So these circular kicks show up on film a lot better than like front kicks and side kicks. But front kick, side kick, rear kick, round kick are way better kicks that you should spend most of your time getting really good at for self-defense. Then you can worry about your movie kicks. Okay, so in the movies, they like to do this with a spin. Okay, so movie kick. All right, now the next one is a jump front kick, right? Or a jump double front kick. So we're gonna jump, we're gonna pick this knee up, and then we're gonna kick with this. I'm gonna take it easy on top, okay? So this foot comes up, but we don't kick with that one. We bicycle in the air. So it's knee up and kick. Hey, I knocked the stuffing out of it. Knee up and kick. Knee up, jump up and kick. So you'll notice that this kick is actually hitting when I'm on my way down for power. My first knee brings me up, and then boom, I'm actually dropping towards the earth when my second kick comes into the target. Okay, all right, so I'll use a mat for my next one. All right. Now, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. I'll try to do it on the diagonal. Now, a flying side kick is when you start by running up and then you jump up in the air. So, when you jump up, both feet come up together. And then you turn in midair. And you kick. So, run up and kick. All right, so that's flying side kick. Now, you'll notice both my knees come up, and then my back foot stays bent as my front foot kicks out, and then I put my feet down. So, one, see, and then the kick comes out. All right. So, one more.
One more.
Chicken wheel kick.
Oh.
So watch. This is a front kick, ground kick combination with a jump. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you do your front kick, and then jump up the ground. 1, 2. All right. Yes, Miss Liz.
One, we'll do one final thing.
Okay, one final thing.
No, not a kick though.
Yay! Because I'm tired. Okay.
Got 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Okay, final thing.
That Maul would like you to explain briefly the double factoring.
Okay.
I use the example of windmill guard if they know windmill guard.
Ready? Horse stance. This is a double factor outward block. Inward, outward. So it's actually a double block. Hence double factor. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So as a punch comes in, that's a double factor outward block. It has an inward block and an outward in it. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, up, in, up, in, up, in, up, in, up, in, down, in, down, in, down, in, down. 1, 2, first factor, second factor. So first factor, second factor. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So double factoring has a minor move inward block inside of the outward block. So instead of just blocking with one hand, you're setting both hands into motion. That first hand, since it's an inward block and we're using point of origin movement, should get there a little bit before the second block. Even though you're launching them at full speed as fast as you can, at the same time, all right, that minor move probably gets there a little sooner. It just gives you an extra bit of protection by closing off the line to your target while that you're waiting for that little bit slower block to get into place. Okay? All right. So great job, guys. Attention stance, horse stance, warrior scholar, attention, and bow. Have a great weekend. All right. So now I have Nemo and the girls.